Hello friends, welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Melrose and I'm here to quickly preview the next 10 days most impactful aspects with you. Very quickly, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with a friend, click the notifications bell. I'm here every day and I'm so blessed I get to share this content with you. Thank you so much for being here. Now let's get into this decan. The dates March 1 through March 10 cover decan 7 of 36 this year. This is the second 10 days of the sun's transit in the land of Pisces. The sun in Pisces is an influence that invites us to relax and lean into the more playful and connective side of being human. We build our skills at emotional intelligence here. We learn about the ways in which our dreams can become illusions that we live by. We become aware of the experiences of other people, and we notice how similar we actually are in terms of basic human needs and desires. For every decan, there is a corresponding numbered suited card from the tarot deck. This 10-day segment of the year corresponds to the 9 of Cups. Pisces is a water sign, and cups in tarot cover water element symbolism. Water element symbolism has to do with the emotions, our relationships, what we love, what we intuit, and our personal habits. The 9 of Cups often represents wish fulfillment. Recall that in the 8 of Cups, we had given to something that we didn't find fulfilling, and so we moved on in search of something that would bring us satisfaction. And with the 9 of Cups, we find ourselves in a comfortable situation. We feel emotionally stable or satisfied, and we have this sense of being able to luxuriate in the good things that have come our way. We are encouraged then to indulge in those things that give us joy. However, we are also warned against taking the good life for granted. Whatever you gave of yourself to get to this point, it won't do anything to help you to be smug or to hold that out as evidence of your own superiority. And with that in mind, let's have a preview of the next 10 days. On Wednesday, March 1, the sun will be trine to the moon. Shout outs to my Leo and Cancer influenced friends. This indicates that 3/4 lit waxing moon and the halfway point from first quarter to full. The trine aspect invites us to take advantage of the relative ease and ideal personal functioning for the completion of whatever goals we set ourselves with the new moon to be completed or to have made some progress on them in time for the full moon, which will come up on Tuesday the 7th. Also on Wednesday the 1st, Venus completes its full conjunction with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. Taurus and Libra, Capricorn and Aquarius leaning friends. These two planets are visible by the naked eye. I'm going to put a little eyeball there. Visible by the naked eye, and in conjunction, you'll be able to see them together, appearing from our perspective to be in the same place in the western sky after the sun sets on March 1st. Venus is our personal planet that shows us how we draw in the things that we like and love. And Jupiter is the planet that connects the personal to the world at large, pushing us to go after the bigger, better things we imagine for our lives. In conjunction, they are under pressure together. Their energies are enhanced and mingled together. So this conjunction comes with predictions of love, money, joy, and in general, easy upgrades to your sense of what you can be, do, and have. It's a good time to fall in love, and it's a good time to invest in something that would represent personal or professional growth. Aries influence here adds a little more of a direct or active approach to getting what you want. And I say Aries influence because both of these planets are in Aries. Venus doesn't always want to ask, but we may find it easier at this time to do so, or simply to take actions that show what our intentions are. If you try for something you want and it falls into place with ease at this time, then take it and just give thanks. It was meant to be. The very next day, on Thursday, March 2, Mercury completes a conjunction with Saturn right before Mercury joins the Sun and Neptune in Pisces. So Gemini and Virgo, Capricorn and Aquarius influenced folks. First, I want to say that these planets are also visible to the human eye. So here in the American Midwest, they'll rise together just after 6 a.m. that day, about half an hour after the sun comes up on Thursday the 2nd. Check your local times. Mercury, the intellect, is in Aquarius, combined under pressure with Saturn, the gatekeeper. So here we are in Aquarius, combined together. Now is the time to turn our attention to those things we say we are dedicated to doing better in terms of supporting ourselves in the world. Our minds become very meticulous and interested in the list of tasks we have to complete in order to create the security we seek. And here's a warning. If you avoid the serious work that has to be attended to because of your commitments to yourself, that have to be attended to because of your commitments to yourselves and others, if you avoid that work, there will be drama and backlash. So just take it seriously, friends. This aspect is practically upon us, and its influence will begin to lighten up on us by the end of the week. Also that day, Mercury moves on into Pisces. Mercury is going to make a quick transit there about 2.5 weeks before it moves on into Aries. And this is helpful to know because Mercury is not at its very best in Pisces. It's what's referred to as a planet's fall. In this case, our straightforward senses, perceptions, and the ways of thinking can become indirect. We can hesitate to say what's on our minds. We can feel uncertain about our ability to connect if we share what we think or how we feel. This is a time when we can find ourselves worrying, like, should I tell them this? Or thinking that we're looking for the right time to express ourselves. This can lead to deception, whether we intend it or not. Furthermore, we can be prone to self-deceiving out of a tendency to either turn a blind eye, something I recently heard called painting red flags green, or simply to see things the way we would like to see them. And by the way, Saturn will also be moving into Pisces in 5 short days. We'll discuss that in just another minute. On Friday, March 3rd, here, the moon moves on into Leo, so Cancer and Leo vibes here. This is our time to shine, friends. Waxing gibbous moon in Leo. Know your value and show it. And don't forget to recognize the value that others add to your experience as well. Shine out that glory and gratitude you'd like to receive. There's nothing wrong with being your fabulously capable, generous, working hard, but making it look easy self. This transit here lasts 2.5 days, 2.5 days. Also on the 3rd, Venus commits to a full conjunction here with Chiron, again in the land of Aries. Taurus, Libra, and Virgo leaning friends, we may find ourselves wanting solutions to some interpersonal problems with a friend, a family member, or a lover. Because Venus covers romance and finances, can also apply to financial investments, discrepancies in payments, or finding ways to make more money. There may be a moment of discovery here that sets us in motion. The solution will require that we take action as soon as we understand the outcome we need. And this can be a really good time to sort something out with someone you trust, though the conversation may be emotional. Next day is Saturday, March 4. The moon in Leo makes trine to 3 relatively conjunct planets today. Venus, Jupiter, and Chiron. They're all in the land of Aries. And moon's in Leo, right? So shout outs to my Cancer, Taurus, and Libra, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and Virgo friends. I think that's about half of us. So this is a very fiery, but a very easy vibe, allowing us freedom of movement and personal ease of momentum when it comes to these problems we're tackling and the upgrades we seek. Remember, Moon in Leo is a time when we show the world what we have to give, show the pride we take in doing our thing well, and show our loyalty and appreciation for those who rely on us. By heeding this call, the problems unravel with ease and the upgrades arise with almost no effort. On the next day, which is Sunday, March 5, the moon moves on into Virgo. This will light up our nervous system, making our senses more alive and aware. We find it easy to assess our circumstances, understand the core of a problem, and process that information to find a good solution. This transit will last 2.5 days. Also on Sunday, we'll be looking at a minor triangle shape between the moon and Chiron and Mars. Cancer, Virgo, Aries, and Scorpio influenced people. Chiron, as we now know, is essentially conjunct to Jupiter and Venus in Aries at this time. And so our yearning for healing or resolution is intensified with an active pursuit of the bigger, better things we'd like to be, do, and have. The moon's trine to Chiron here brings an opportunity to bring nurture and nourishment to our own bodies, and perhaps a break where we can reflect on the healing we've undergone. Especially when we're in hot pursuit of those bigger, better things, a pause in the shade to integrate and digest everything we have been and done so far can help us remember what we want and why we want it. Mars in Gemini is the focal point of this shape, reinforcing that fiery, active approach and encouraging communication for the sake of progress. Then we come to Monday, March 6th. The Sun here perfects a sextile to Uranus, Leo and Aquarius friends. This is a very positive vibe of exciting discoveries. We may get to meet some interesting new people. We may be invited to try something different that sounds fun. It's a good time to accept the call to adventure. It's also a good time when we may discover more about ourselves and our sense of purpose in the world. Flashes of insight can help us gain a new perspective on what we're doing and why we're doing it. And then on Tuesday, March 7, we celebrate the full moon in Virgo. This means the sun and moon are sitting opposite to one another in the sky. So there's a matter of tension and excitement between who we are in our personal experience and how we express ourselves out in the world. We show confidence, but we reflect more on how far we've come. Hopefully we have sorted things out by this time so that we can relax and enjoy the sense of accomplishment. Also that day, Saturn moves on into Pisces. Saturn has been at home in Aquarius for 3 years, adding a sober perspective to our desire to remake things in a way that everyone can be supported. Now, the planet that guards the doors to material progress is slipping into what some would call a dream state. There can be a tendency to slack off on our responsibilities during this transit. We may find it harder to show up for the things we said we would do. Saturn works for structure, whereas Pisces advises relaxing so we can feel our connections. It can be a little bit like getting lost in fairyland. Time passes differently and we're easily distracted by delightful acts of creation. On the other hand, the wide open, imaginative vibe of Pisces can have the effect of helping us create those structures and networks that we rely on for support in a way that is more intuitive or user-friendly. We're encouraged at this time to incorporate what we might normally think of as fantasy into the practical things we seek to manifest. If we can, quietly but diligently do the necessary work while allowing ourselves to get creative with it, we can really make some dreams come true for ourselves and in the service of others. Next up, Wednesday, March 8th, the moon moves on into Libra after a trine with Pluto. So let's talk about the trine first. As you probably heard me say, when the moon and Pluto talk to one another, stuff comes up. Cancer and Scorpio vibes here. We think things we had forgotten or simply never understood can arise from the intuitive depths to the surface of our understanding. The trine aspect offers ease of functioning, so we are empowered on this day to take advantage of our ability to feel our way to the heart of the matter and realize its impact on us. And then after a very brief void of course, the moon will enter Libra that day, and the internal conversation becomes more about who and what we relate to on the personal level and whether we feel any imbalance in those connections. Reciprocity in relationships becomes all important during this 2.5-day transit. Then on Thursday, March 9, the moon makes opposition aspects to the same 3 essentially conjunct planets in the land of Aries here, Venus, Jupiter, and Chiron. Cancer, Taurus, and Libra, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and Virgo influence friends. These 3 are like the 3 amigos. They're working together to heal our old wounds and to help us find upgrades in terms of having what we like, love, and can't get enough of. We'll be feeling less of the Venus and Jupiter vibe at this point, but these planets are still combined under pressure together, just to a lesser extent than before. And where before, on Saturday the 4th, we found a certain amount of ease and grace in our pursuit of the healing and upgrades we seek, we now find a potential for personal conflict in regards to the healing and upgrades we seek. We may hit a bump in the road or find the limit to our personal comfort zone in seeking resolution or working toward a higher goal. Moon in Libra invites us to find our balancing point and act as best as we can from there, understanding that we won't make much progress if we can't stand, figuratively speaking, on our own 2 feet. The final day of this decan is Friday, March 10, and on this day the moon moves on into Scorpio, encouraging us to settle in and do some soul searching. We're more intuitive than usual during this 2.5-day transit, and we may find that it's easier to bring certain things to an end in our own hearts, which is necessary for us to bring them to an end in the outer life. Also that day, we celebrate a brief grand trine between the moon, Mars, and Saturn, Cancer, Aries, and Scorpio, Capricorn, and Aquarius folks. This indicates personal work or business we have to take care of at home. It should be easy to give you, it should be easy if you give it your attention and take action to follow the necessary steps. Saturn has just entered Pisces, right? But the moon and Mars are both in air signs on this day. This allows us, I think, some foresight into how Saturn and Pisces might treat us as individuals and how we can do what we can do in terms of collaboration and seeking fairness in our connections to help us navigate these dreamy Piscean waters. And that's it for our 7th decan, friends. Dates March 1 through March 10. We'll get to feel the intensity of some conjunctions, Mercury to Saturn, insisting we take some things seriously, Venus, Jupiter, and Chiron all together in helping us seek resolution and progress by the actions we take. Aside from 4 moon transits, Mercury and Saturn are both finding themselves in transition, moving on to find themselves joining the Sun and Neptune in Pisces. The Pisces vibes will be turned up by the end of this decan, and we will be immersed in the creative and connective energy of this sign. Hopefully, the outcome of all this power and transition will include some personal comfort, a sense of emotional security, and an opportunity to luxuriate in the delights that life has to offer. Thank you so much for tuning in today, friends. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, request notifications, and hey, share it with a friend. I post here every day, and I so enjoy sharing this content with you. My love and gratitude go out to all of you, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.